I want to start by first of all congratulating ourselves. We brought out Domo magazine. You know,
Yes.
it's
Second edition.
Second
Second
edition.
edition.
It's all about the adult community in diaspora. There's a lot of news here. But it's also I've got your son here,
Okay.
Sayuki. Congratulations on his
Thank
graduation.
you. Thank you very much.
You know, there's a reason I put him here, and I want to start with that. You know, Edwin, I don't know. You know, is it more in America that when the children are graduating, there is more fanfare? You know, in terms of what they do when they get on stage. You know, throw, dance, bring, things they like. But it seems like marriage in the UK and graduations are going in the same way. It's getting very African. You know, I've seen yours with Yuki, you know, and I'm glad you're here. Did he pick those things? Did he say he wants to look like an Edo man, or did you and your husband put that on?
No, no.
So,
No, Yuki actually planned this ahead of time.
ahead of time.
Yes, he
He-
planned this in advance that he wanted everyone to wear African dress. He wanted to dress very African. So he bought his outfit when he went to Nigeria on holiday
Aha.
because he said that's what he was going to wear to the graduation. And I have to actually prepare myself and make that outfit that I wore
Yes.
for it. And everybody have to prepare because Yuki wanted everyone going to wear African.
Let me, Edwin. I'm going to bring you here, but wait first. Did you worry yourself because around the times where many people came to this country, we don't wear our native attire to occasions that are not community driven. But it seems the children are changing. Did you worry at all to say, Yuki, is this
No, I didn't worry at all. The reason is because I can see it has become a trend that a lot of African children were bringing their culture to the stage. I've seen the difference over the years since when we first came here as an immigrant long time ago, let's say in the late 80s, early 90s. Being African wasn't cool. Even playing African music in parties were not cool. If anybody sees you dressed up in an African style, they'll probably be asking you, are you going to a carnival or something? I have been asked several occasions when I dress up so African and I'm walking around the street and my neighbors say, oh, you're going to a carnival or something. Is there anything going on specifically that you're going to? And then
it's just outfit.
And then you realize that, okay, this is not a common thing. However, over the years, let's say from the late 2000s, is becoming popular. African music is becoming popular. African dress is becoming popular. African food is becoming popular. There are some secondary schools now or primary school where jollof rice are served.
In England?
Yes.
For lunch?
Yes, as a meal, as in the menu, school menu.
Yes.
Jollof rice is now in the school menu, and you have a lot of chicken and dodo. Dodo gizzard is now part of the school menu in some schools in East London, which I think is a progress for us.
Very
and that's the
impressive.
reason when Yuki requested that we dress African, I didn't think it was a big deal because I have seen a lot of other children dress African on their graduation.
Very good. Very impressive. Edwin, I want to bring in because Esusa said something. She said the music, if you look at the times where she's referring to where you look like you're going to a carnival and all, you couldn't even answer your name properly. The single factor you could put on this, is it the music? Is it Afrobeat music that has brought all this to the forefront with the children? Where do you stand?
Well, I think we're just part of our identity. They want to promote our identity. And in the school, like we normally have the Black History Month,
Yes.
and then we celebrate our districts. And then I'm a teacher by the grace of God, and then on that day they expect me to wear not English dress. I wear various types, traditional, beneath traditional attire, the flowing one. I have a lot of pictures taken. They have the one with the red, the this and the hat. It's a lovely thing. They want to see that. They want to see the pictures. So our children, I think I'm proud of them. Like he said, bringing it to the stage is something.
It's very good.
Now in the 2000s, early 2000s, in the not a carnival. You come to the Nigerian stage. They're the last to close. It is full of everybody there. Even before the advent of Afrobeat.
Aha! I was.
So what I'm trying to say in this is that in the world we are projecting who we are. We're not just hiding anymore. I watched a graduation ceremony. The guy wore this Igbo attire. I don't know the name.
I don't know what they
It's
call it.
Isiagu. And then, and at the end of it all, towards the end, after shaking his hand, he took out the hat. He was proud to show the things off. So we are proud
Very
of who we are. We're no longer ashamed. Like you said just now, like I said, I have students in my classroom whose name is Dio. You said, no, I'm not Dio. I am Dio. Dakbo. I'm Dakbo. Because of they have not come to realization of this is. But with these things who are progressing, either in marriages and in education, they are happy. They are a role model for others to follow.
Absolutely.
There's no need for you to be ashamed of where you come from.
I like something here, and it's also I'm going to cross this one. You know, Edwin has mentioned Black History Month. We have identified the music. Is it that when we came there was no Black History Month?
There was. I like that question that you asked. That's a very, very good question. Even though there was a Black History Month long time ago, that has been taught in schools, it's been celebrated in school. I think what it was during my time, my generation, when we came to England here, when we were here, it wasn't really cool to be African. It's not just being black that matters now. Now, if you look at the UK, long time ago it was being black, which means us African were trying to emulate the Caribbeans.
Yes.
You will see an African child that will speak patois very good.
Yes.
You will see an African child that will pretend to be Jamaican.
Yeah.
Like you said, if someone called
Dayo,
they will try and make their name look like their name is patois.
Yeah.
They will say, my name is Femi. He will not say, my name is Femi.
Is it Black History Month? Is it Afrobeat music? Did they come at the same time, or these things didn't exist? There was no Afrobeat when we came to this country, and I don't know if there was Black History Month.
I would say there was Black History Month when we came to this country a long time ago. They were already celebrating Black History Month. There was one thing to be black, there is another thing to be African. Now, in our generation, in my generation when I was in Britain, it was okay, it was cool to be black, just be black. And a lot of Africans will want to go under the radar to pretend to be Caribbean. People call Esusa will not answer Esusa. They will change their name to become Linda. Because being African, as soon as you apply for a job and they see that you are an African, which means you do not have English as your first language, that is a huge discrimination against you. Right, a lot of Africans, what they were doing, they were all pretending to be Caribbean. They're not pretending not to be black. They are pretending to be black, but to pretend to be Caribbean. You see someone called Ade will be Adi. Bosse will be Bossi. And then you see people called Sosa would automatically change their name to be probably Linda, Brenda, or
Let
things.
me just interrupt. That's also the time of the dreadlocks.
That's also the time of dreadlocks where we don't really want to wear anything African at all. People will not want to wear anything African at all because that will make you even look a little bit more different from the Caribbeans, where you have a lot of Africans don't want to do, African women don't want to do cornrows. No, they don't want to do braid. They'd rather wear wig and look more like Caribbeans. I think from my observation, I'm not exactly sure. I can't tell you exactly what changed.
Yeah.
The change, the switch in the cultural values and identity came, I would say, around 2000, when I think, in my observation, and from what my children also told me, is when Afrobeat come into power. When Nigerians and Ghanaians start fighting about jollof rice. They get Ghanaian children. My children didn't have jollof rice at home because when I cook jollof rice when they were younger, they'll be like, "Oh, we don't want to eat jollof. Can I just have pasta? Can I have broccoli and whatever?" But as soon as the Afrobeat start coming up, the Nollywood movies start coming up, and a lot of Nigerians now realize that, oh, there's something called jollof rice, and Ghanaians have their version of jollof rice. The children start fighting over jollof rice in school, so they'll come home and ask for jollof rice and say, what is that thing that is called jollof rice? Can we make that? And we check it. That's where the identity, strong identity start coming. Then, one other thing I observed, a lot of minority tribes in Nigeria were now picking up the majority tribes in Nigeria. For example, Edo children and Igbo children were picking the Yoruba vibe in school, where a lot of children now learn how to call auntie, uncles, which they weren't doing it before. They now learn how to call uncle, they learn to prostrate like the Yoruba does. They would say, hello uncle, hello auntie, they would prostrate. Now, I have to now teach my children to say, you've been in, you do not prostrate when you say, oh, hello uncle. You have to, then the shift, everybody now start identifying themselves. Like, okay, I'm Yoruba, I'm Igbo, I'm Benin. So being African became cool for the children.
I like it.
It's not just about us, the first generation. The second generation now wanted to welcome their identity. And then they were now asking, like, how come my friend speaks Yoruba and I don't speak Edo? How come my friend speak Yoruba and I don't speak Igbo? That now start coming in.
You got it.
Because the first generation, we were not confident. We were not confident of who we are as an African to teach our children our culture or to teach them our language. But children are growing up. They now know that.
Bring the research.
It's a very loaded explanation. I'm very good. I seem to be seeing that this weekend. I watched another interview from one of my friends. It was long, but I didn't know when the time was. It was talking about his life, just how you're speaking now.
Yeah.
But I want to make reference to, say he's a teacher, right? Because I'm trying to find out when Black History Month, when we were added, we can see that the children, you can tell the timeline to say these things were affected. You as a school teacher, was there anything in class that, was it a conscious inclusion from the classroom to say it's not just West Indians, there are other people that need to be, when did the teachers take part in Black History Month where you had to wear your...
Like, I'm going to say that the fourth thing, let me say, when I enter the classroom, I have a lot of African children there, or black kids, see me as a teacher, they are automatically acceptance, happy.
Yes.
Automatically. I teach maths.
That's true.
And they see somebody who is from their place,
Yes.
and then who look like them.
Yep.
We are actually role models to them. Doing things of them. So you see, they I think, oh, that's my uncle. That's uncle. They will say it.
Yes.
Whether A-level students or whatever, they
Yep.
say, uncle, how are you doing?
Yes.
Oh, you're right. They want to accept that my kind of person, that projection, they are happy. That somebody who sees them, who understands the way they feel.
Yes.
And they are not able to express themselves.
Yes.
Right. Most of them, they do exceedingly well in school. Now let me digress a bit. Anthony Joshua, one of his interviews, he said, what do you enjoy much? Amala. Their Nigerian food.
Yes.
Saka was talking about their
Yes.
food too, what they do enjoy. They are bringing that to the fore. They're no longer asking, what do you want to do, this or that food. They are so proud of it. In fact, go to, I don't know if not London, but the southeast of England, of London, come to Peckham, the food are there.
Oh, yes.
You can buy everything.
In
So we are not
East
proud
London,
of
it's
that.
the same.
We are proud
Yeah.
of those things
Yeah.
we have. And then our children in school are very proud.
Very, very.
Like, for example, I have so many examples to give. Like parents coming down from Nigeria, coming to school. I was in one of the parents' evening, and then the man looked at my name. It's Mr. Igwe. And I said, yeah, if you call it Igwe, you're right. If you call it Igwe, you're right. But it was, the man waited for me to finish
Yes.
my meeting with parents so that I can leave. And automatically he was so happy. And he came because to see me because I was, it was a white dominated school.
Absolutely.
And he's seeing his brother there. Automatically I'm his brother, I'm his uncle. So
Can I just say, I'm wondering who to, I want to give the credit to the children, but I don't know if I'll be correct.
You are correct.
You understand? I don't, you understand?
You're very, very correct. to give the credit to the children.
Yeah,
And
because they want to know where they come from.
And
They want to identify.
Yes, and I also agree with Mr. Egwe, what he said, that when you now see the Africans who were representative of African on a world stage, now bringing the African culture to the world stage, it now makes our children to become acceptance of who they are. Like Anthony Joshua will talk about eating amala, Saka will talk about things like that, were one of the few things that actually inspired our children to know that, oh, I can actually be myself when I'm on stage like this. I can actually come up and say that I eat amala at home and I eat jollof rice at home. I think all of those things, combination of that, was what it's a combination of it. It's not just one particular thing. I don't think teaching Black History Month in school had any impact at all, because that has been ongoing for a very long time and it never impacted. And I don't think education in school impacted the children. I think it was the social environment that impacted the children on how to become self-acceptance. And I tell you a very good example. When we went to the graduation hall and everybody sat down, we were waiting for the graduation, waiting for all the graduates to go there and change, and everybody waiting. And then the moment came where Ade Adekwitan wheeled himself to the stage and introduced himself as the Chancellor of Birmingham City University. The atmosphere in the room changed. You can see all the graduates, the black and the ethnic minority graduates, all filled with, like you said, that confidence, that identity. Like someone like me standing there, he's not just standing there as a black man, he's a disabled black man and he's the chancellor. He's not the vice chancellor, he's the chancellor of. I have to send a text message to my son. Said, you go take a picture with Ade Adekwitan. That's Ade Adekwitan. Because I knew him when he was a young boy here in the UK. How he went to the disabled Olympic. I have seen him on television. How much he has promoted his culture as an African, and he confidently stood up on that stage that day, spoke without paper. The most eloquent person I've ever seen. Very well articulated. His grammar, everything, and he said that he was born in Nigeria. Now the whole crowd went boom.
They went ballistic.
Now there was one of the ground rules in the hall. The graduates were instructed not to bring out their phones. Phones were not allowed. They broke the rules. They all broke out their phones and they were all taking selfies. Selfies were not allowed. Parents were instructed not to take pictures. The rule went off the window that day.
I want to add something when you finish. I think, when recently you look at it, we're from Edo State now. Edo language is not as, famous as Yoruba language. And on the train, you can see a lot of people speaking Yoruba and people identify with that. I think once our children get a hold of the language, because let me not just say Yoruba, you hear Spanish, you hear all kinds of languages all over the world. I think they will also be the ones to push the language.
Oh, they are already pushing it. Yeah. They are pushing it already now. If you go on social media, Edo is very popular now. On TikTok, everywhere.
From Italy.
Yes.
One girl from Italy, I follow her. She was not born in Nigeria, she was born in Italy.
Yes, and she's very fluent. Yeah.
There was also this young man who went to Benin.
Yes, that little girl from Germany.
These small children. Learning it. And then they went to Benin. So, like we discussed that here, for parents to educate their children, to start from the beginning. Because as an education, we believe that child hears the mother's language. Even when the child is in the pregnancy, they hear.
It's one of the first thing I tell parents when I do parents training, when I train parents in schools. One of the things you tell parents is to speak your first language to your children. Now I think
mother tongue.
You got that video when I went to Canada. They celebrate Edo language. There's Edo language day, and I was invited to Canada to as a guest speaker. To talk about the importance of speaking the mother's tongue to your children. And I talked about it. The valuable importance of that is that, may God forbid, you get old and somebody have a stroke, or somebody have dementia, or you have Parkinson's disease that can affect the brain, probably the part of the brain that process information, that process your first language or your second language, regardless. and then you lack the ability to now speak English or probably speak Spanish, whether you were a Spanish speaker. And then, but the first language becomes intact, and your children don't speak your first language, then there is no way you can communicate with your children. So this is what happened when you find a lot of people here in the UK, which I have worked with, a lot of people. I've worked with an Igbo man who was very, very affluent, very highly educated, speaks English, been here since in the 60s. His children were all grown up adults, had a stroke. And the stroke affected part of the brain that controls English. And now the Igbo is still intact, but the children don't speak Igbo.
Substitute life.
So they told me, when I saw him, they said he doesn't speak at all. He's non-verbal, he doesn't speak. And I went to, like you said, when you walk into school, when you walk into a hospital, a black man sees a black sister, they come alive. A lot of black children will see me as I come and say, Auntie, are you going to pick me? And I'm like, no, I'm not picking you today, I'm picking another child. Auntie, pick me. They see you, and then they will ask you, Auntie, are you my sister's auntie? I'm like, no, you look like my mom. Okay. I'm like, how do I look like? That makes the children want to open up to you. Whatever it is that bothers them at home or bothers them in school, they want to talk to you about it. Auntie, I'm not very happy about this. Don't tell my mom, because you look like their mom.
Yeah. But
There's someone. But what I mean is, when I came into that ward, and they assigned me this man to me, I wanted me to go. They told me he doesn't talk. And the next thing is that the man was talking. He was speaking Igbo. He was telling me, Ugwanu, Ugwanu, Ugwanu. And I said, oh, I was told you don't talk. Now you're telling me Ugwanu, Ugwanu. And I said, that sounds like Igbo language. And they have misidentified this man, saying that he came from Dominican Republic. Okay. He was actually an African because he couldn't talk.
Wait. We'll go, because you know I like this subject because they just open.
Yes.
But let's come back to the graduation. First, I want to say please tell Yuki that we're very proud.
Oh, yes.
More of this. We want to, like you said, thank the children. You know, can I say thank the food? You know?
Yes, you're right.
Thank the food. Thank them for everything they're doing, and more of the same. You know, graduation. Marriages, we'll talk about this in another time, because we need to also let them know the cost, especially when it comes to the marriages. You know,
respect them.
We respect that, because the African marriage is quite expensive, you know, and if they like it, they need to, you know, plan for it, and let's be careful with that. But I have to say, congratulations. Let me open this up so people know why I'm happy. This is Yuki. And this is Adepita, and this is Auntie over there, and you see that? This is Auntie, and the boy is wearing all Benin beads.
He said he was going to wear all of them. I said, what? One? Not one. Bring another one. That was it.
Thank you very much. We'll be right back after the show. We got special guests coming. We're talking today. It's the Right Direction Show.
Thank you.